So the last model, there's a lot of models of communication, but the last model that we're gonna discuss would be the interactional model. So for interactional model, this is the last one that was um, sent by people who are founded the models of communication. Basically, we just don't have the linear and the transactional one. They realize that there's also a type of communication where everybody interacts. Like there are different senders and there are different receivers at the same time. Receivers might also send messages. Like it's a very it's a very interactive communication. So a sample of this one would be if you brainstorm for an idea. Usually this would happen in a meeting where there is no message that needs to be conveyed. In fact, what is being discussed is trying to solve a problem, and everyone is sending out their ideas and how to resolve the problem until they come up with a resolution. So it's a very interactive, very high intensity type of communication. So let's go ahead and discuss about the features of this. So the key features used for new communication, like internet, right? So in internet, you have different feedback. So for example, common one would be if you have an active group chat and everyone is discussing together and sending messages, then it becomes this interactional model. So also concept of field of experience. So everybody shares their own experiences when communicating. Known also as convergence model. Communication becomes linear if receiver does not respond. So for example, if you have a boss who likes to get an idea and nobody replies, then it becomes linear. Or if there's just one person who's sending out ideas, then it becomes just linear, right? So the pro is feedback. Even in mass communication, you get a lot more feedback for better results. This is a new communication channel, right? So feedback, the cons or the disadvantage is feedback can take a very long time because there's a lot of people talking. And then sender and receiver might not know who the other person is, especially if we're talking about internet, radio, things like that. But usually if it's a face-to-face meeting, then you would still know who's sending an idea. But as you can see, although there's a lot of advantages for this type of model, it can be a little bit of a chaos when everybody talks at the same time. So it's very important that you have someone who facilitates the discussion and makes all of the transactions and communications cohesive. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about the my second topic is how to be an effective business communicator. So there's going to be two parts for this. The first part would be how to be an effective sender, right? If you're the one sending the message, how can you be effective? So we have a few tips here. First one, use as many levels of communications as you can. Meaning to say, you just don't have emails, you just don't have short messages. There are other ways that you can convey a message. Sometimes, for important messages, you really have to avoid sending an email. You have to do it face to face. So, for example, if you need to do an appraisal, it would not be convenient to do it with someone through email.